Here we go.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I have never played the following classic and timeless games.
Oh, okay. What? Oh, come on. You'll be a presenter on this week. What, you haven't played Prince of Persia? Yeah, you'll be on This Week in Retro next. Wow. Oh. Were you in prison? Is that the explanation? You've not... What? Hang on. You've not played Doom. Who hasn't played Doom? How do I kick someone off of a stream? How do I eject them? Hang on. Gets worse. Oh, thank God we've got to the end. It was Doom 2, Dave, but it was Doom before that, so he showed Doom and Doom 2. Okay, I think we have a decision to make here. Is Byron forgiven? And we will go on to the next video. Let's see if Gustado receives such forgiveness.
I have to confess something. You see this Amiga?
I see it.
I drilled a great big hole in it and I'm not sorry.
That's it. That's the video. I haven't even got the poll ready. Okay. Do we forgive Gustado? The poll has begun. Let's watch it again, just in case you missed anything.
I have to confess something. You see this Amiga? I drilled a great big hole in it and I'm not sorry.
He's so pleased with himself. He is so pleased with himself. Ian, thank you so much for the subscription. Ian, not Eon. Wow. I'm surprised how many of you are forgiving him. I think we might have some Atari fans here. I know which way Dave has swung. Last 10 seconds of the poll. Oh, it's closer than I thought. It's only an Amiga, says Dave. It's only an Amiga. That's what makes it possible. Wow, that was close. 56%. You are not forgiven, Custado. Yeah, your punishment is to fill that hole with something and come back and show us the repair. Do a good job on it. High effort job. Cookie Jar 6502 and Tero Grade Amnesia El Pinata. Thank you for following. Fill it with custard. Well, if you think that's appropriate. The next...
Hi everybody, I am a bad man.
Oh, that thought. This is Pajako 6502. Let's make his video the right size. He's a bad man. He's got some cool things behind him though. Right. Okay, bad man. Take it away. Oh, and it was lovely to meet you, Paul, when you came to the cave as well.
Everybody, I am a bad man. I have committed a retro gaming sin, and this evening I ask for your eternal damnation or your forgiveness. You could decide. So, a few years ago, I had a GP2X and I played a game, called Wind and Water Puzzle Battles. It is a really, really good game and one I highly recommend you play. A couple of years later, the developers ported it to the Sega Dreamcast. Really, really good game, so I decided, yep, I'm going to purchase that. So I duly purchased it. It turned up, I added it to my collection and never opened it, just like a good retro gaming collector. And then a few months later, I was going through my bank statements and noticed that I hadn't actually been charged for it. So I thought, okay, I will contact the company, let them know. They got back to me and said, thank you very much. And I could pay whenever I wanted to. And as you've probably guessed, I didn't pay. The reason, in all honesty, is that things were a little bit tight back then. I always meant to pay, and quite honestly, I just forgot about it. And then it became years and years and years, and now I'm actually quite embarrassed. I don't think the company that developed it or published it even exists anymore, so I couldn't pay if I wanted to.
The poll has begun.
By way of retribution, that is not my original copy. That went in my Sega Dreamcast collection that I sold to a friend for £50 at mate's rate. So maybe that does forgive me a little bit. That is a copy I subsequently purchased on eBay.
You're telling me you want forgiveness because you sold it to your mate for £50? Something you didn't pay for.
So maybe that does forgive me.
Is that what we're saying?
By way of retribution, that is not my original copy. That went in my Sega Dreamcast collection that I sold to a friend for £50 at mate's rate. So maybe that does
there was
forgive
still
me a little
profit
bit.
involved.
That is a copy I subsequently purchased on eBay. Obviously not direct from the developer that I'm aware of. Am I forgiven? Am I a pariah to be cast out and never to be spoken to again? I'll let you decide, but thank you for considering my sin.
Well, we are considering it, and it's the last 10 seconds of the poll, and it's looking good for Pajako6502. I'm going to hit no. I do not forgive you. 60% to 29%. Well, I guess you're forgiven. I mean, I don't agree with it. Although that might sound a bit hypocritical when I tell you my confession later. Yeah, hang on, I've changed my mind. I forgive you. Remember that. Okay. Before we get to the next video, let's just jump into the voice chat and we'll see if we've got any more audio confessions to come. Hello, voice chat. You are live. Please don't swear. Does anyone in voice chat have any confessions that they'd like to make at this time? Retro confessions, not just any confessions. We've got Costado, we've got Kevin Gonzalez, Mr. Fujisawa, Naoki, Pillock, Head of Good Ideas, Repo Man, and Sir Woodington of... I can't see the rest of your name. Woody. Any confessions in the live chat? Chris Edwards has just jumped into the wrong voice chat. So the confessional chat room is only visible to patrons, I'm afraid. Can I drag Chris in there? I've just dragged Chris in there. What a rebel. Whether he's a patron or not, Chris, you are now in the retro confession room.
I once sold an Amiga 1000 for $25.
What? When was this? When was this?
1992.
Okay, 92. I guess, yeah, it was probably considered a bit of a doorstop. No, it's still usable in 92 if you had a bit of RAM in there. Oh, you're a bad man. Okay, I see our TIE Fighter friend has joined voice chat. Do you have a confession to make? That was a steal, wasn't it? That was a hell of a steal. Dave's come into the chat. Okay.
Would you like a confession from me?
I would like a confession from you in your smooth Scottish lilt, please.
A very long time ago, I was asked by my parents, what's to happen with all these old games and these old computers? Do you want them, or will you just take them to the dump? And they went to the dump.
No.
Boxed Ultimas, an Atari ST, a 6128 monitor, loads and loads of 3-inch discs, all to the dump. And I won't be alone in doing it either.
No, I have to confess, my first confession. I not only did I take an Amstrad CPC to the dump with a romantic robot module, I actively threw it into the big container at the dump, like as if I was, relinquishing my past. Like, yes, there it goes, and lobbing it into there. Oh, so even if somebody wanted it, it would have just been smashed to pieces.
That's disgusting.
Shame on me. Shame on me. Austin Pryor, I'm going to drag into the confessional chat. Austin Pryor. I'm getting my own voice back. So if you're not talking, can you please hit mute, and I will invite you to come and talk. Austin Pryor, if you have a confession, please make it now. Austin Pryor. Silence. Okay. It's an us. Oh, hello, Mr. Fujisawa.
Oh, hello there.
Confess.
Thank you. Somewhat promoted by Dave, I had a modded Xbox provided to me as a birthday present from a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And this was back in the days when I didn't really think about collecting and doing, things like that. And that Xbox, a Dreamcast, an N64, and a SNES all ended up in a bin somewhere.
Oh, no.
And
All
I
in the
have
bin.
never forgiven myself.
What year is this?
Probably 20 odd years ago.
Get out. You are not forgiven. What do we think, chat? Crying. Pajako says crying. What do we think, chat? Crying. Pajako says crying. I'm just going to mute. I'm going to mute now just because I'm getting my own voice back. There we go. Thank you for your confession, Mr. Fujisawa. In the bin, says the Rushton. Get in the bin. Paul says consoles. That's okay with me. Gitson says Wonder's not just been a Dreamcast. Oh, hello. We've got
Neil.
we've got
I
Woody.
have a couple of them.
Hit us with one.
So my first confession is for Christmas 1996, I wanted a karaoke machine.
Oh, you're fading in and out. We can't hear you, Woody.
1 second.
Just see if he can. This is like a real radio show, isn't it? We're having problems on the line. Let's just see if the studio can sort that out.
What about now?
Give it a go. Start talking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So back in Christmas of 96, I had the option of getting a Nintendo 64 or a karaoke machine, and I opted for the karaoke machine.
Oh.
I quickly rectified that mistake. And my other confession is right now I am drinking a Dr. Pepper cream soda, Neil. So I just wanted to make you jealous.
Well, no, you're not making me jealous because before the stream, I had a Diet Coke cream soda that I made. But because the shop I had, they didn't have any plain vanilla ice cream, I bought Cadbury's Cream Egg ice cream. So I had a Cadbury's Cream Egg Coke float. So you are not getting one over on me today with your Dr. Pepper float. Thank you very much. Okay, let's come back to the videos. We will come back to the chat room if anyone has any more confessions. Our next video is from Jim. So let's bring this up. Oh, look, Jim hasn't even started talking and he looks like he's got a pro setup there. He's got fancy camera on the right-hand side, nice mic with a pop filter. Looking good. Okay, I got a good feeling about this one. Let's see what Jim's got for us.
Okay, the only reason I'm doing this in a single take is because I think that the statute of limitations has passed and both the companies involved in this story are no longer in business.
My learned friend, you may need to step in with some legal advice on this one.
And also because I don't think very many people would see it. Otherwise, I don't think I would admit this on camera, and I'm going to do this in a single take. I used to shoplift software as a teenager.
We are going hard. We are going all in with the shoplifting now. Right. Oh, what did he steal?
As a teenager. In our mall, we used to have a Babbage's software, and then right across the aisle was a Walden Books. And Walden Books sold books, but in the mid-'80s, they also decided to get into software. my racket was that I would go to Babbage's and purchase 1 or maybe 2 games at regular price. I would then ask them for a large bag, and then I would walk with my purchases or purchase into the Walden books. I would go to where the software section was, which was in a dark corner of the store.
This is getting worse and worse. Controller Reese says he looks like a shoplifter. Matt says he's got hustle. Okay. So he's been in, he's got the games with an extra large bag, and he's gone into the bookstore.
And I would fill my Babbage's bag with software from Walden Books. I would then pick out 1 additional thing, usually very cheap, to buy, walk right up to the counter, buy it, and then leave. And because I was walking in with a bag of software and out with a bag of software, people didn't pay it any mind. Of course, they never bothered to check that the bag of software I walked out with was much larger than the bag I walked in with. Sorry.
Jim. Jim. I mean, we've had some confessions so far, but that is a confession and a half, isn't it? Not only did he shoplift software, he thought it through. It was a premeditated software theft to maximize his theft with a large bag. I'd love to know what software it was. Reese says I'll never look at Jim's channel in the same way again. Oh, this is looking serious for Jim. We've hit 80% on lock him up. Jim, more like Crim. It's all stolen. In the slammer. Next video. Neil, I killed a man. That's the only way we can take this up to the next level, isn't it? Have you ever killed anyone over retro? 81%. The face of a criminal mastermind, says Matt. Lock him up. Remember that face. Remember that face. If you see this face in your shop carrying a large bag, you're in trouble. Have you got that face all etched into your minds? Let's move on. Kitson says, I beat someone to death with a copy of Ultima 6. Next up is Patrick.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Patrick. Let's make sure we've got your face large enough. What was that? That was Woody saying, I shot a man in retro just to watch him die. Oh, sorry, in Reno. I just automatically read it as retro. Okay, let's see what Patrick has to confess. It surely can't be as bad as Jim.
Hi, everybody. It's Dinty from Dinty's Hideaway.
Dinty's Hideaway.
And my biggest crime against RetroTech was in, I think it was 1994. I had a IBM motherboard with an SLC 66 chip, which would be no big deal. You know, I did not put the 4 black wires together. I did it the other way, and every chip on the card popped like popcorn. But that's not the real tragedy. The real tragedy was I had a Gravis ultrasound wavetable sound card attached to that motherboard. And I can't even find it on the web. It had about 1 billion jumpers on it, so it predates the 1992 card. So very, very early advanced Gravis sound card, which I completely destroyed. And to this day, I regret it.
I didn't think things could get worse. They just did. What's worse, shoplifting or killing that Gravis ultrasound? The poll is up. Do we forgive Dinty? Oh, okay. You're being very forgiving. I think what we're seeing here is sympathy. Okay. Pajako says it was a premeditated murder of the sound card. But Taraka says he didn't mean it. He shall live, says Chris Edwards Restoration. Yeah, we have all popped hardware, real dozer. Happy Coding ZX said it was manslaughter, so not murder. Okay. Okay, 82% of you forgive Dinty. You are forgiven. Like my learned friend, hold your head high. And let's see who we've got next. It's Tim Wright is next. And we will do the adjustment of the... Oh, hang on. Tim is forgiven. Tim has an RMC polo shirt. That's it. It's done. We don't even need to watch the video. Forgiven. Right. Is he chalking a snooker cue? What's going on here? Oh, it's a tape measure.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there. Welcome to Confession Corner. On today's episode, I have a...
Tim is coming through a little bit quiet on the levels, so I'm just going to knock the audio up. Bear with me. Let's give him 15 dBs.
Oh, sorry.
That's very loud. Sorry. Right, let's give him 8 dBs.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there. Welcome to Confession Corner. On today's episode, I have a guilty gaming confession. Now, the year 2000 may not be considered retro for a lot of people, but if you go back 23 years from now to 2000, and then another 23 years back to before 2000, you're in a time before the ZX80 was ever released. So the PlayStation 2, which is where we're at today, is retro. Sorry, you're old. And so am I, so that's fine. And it's back in the year 2000 that I started writing for this. PlayStation Interactive Magazine 2, or PSI 2, to you and me. Now, the sin I'd like to confess is that over the course of 2001 I committed a crime, you could say several crimes against video game journalism, in the back pages of this magazine.
Oh. Here we go. Here we go. So 2001, that was the year of the PS2's release, wasn't it?
The fact that I submitted the 2 worst magazine mugshots in history. I also submitted roughly 10 of the worst magazine articles in history. Hastily written, dashed off articles about the latest pet peeve, be it import charges, PAL conversions, censorship, or what have you. So for anyone out there who suffered through my dribblings all those years ago, I apologise. Well, at least the writing wasn't that bad. And yeah, so I'll leave it there before I embarrass myself further. I can't even look the camera in the eye anymore. I'm going by.
So Tim wrote what he confesses to be awful articles for PlayStation Interactive Magazine. But let's remember, he is wearing the polo shirt. He does have the tape measure out. And that picture of him there looks like it should be on, a milk bottle, missing child. This is a close one. There's another picture of him there. He said the PS2 is retro. I can't accept that, says Byron. I was also looking on his shelves. We've got MS-DOS, we've got Windows 95, Wing Commander, Ultima Underworld 2 and 1. All sorts of good stuff on there. Right, the poll says no. 59. That was close. 59 to 41. You are not forgiven, Tim. Your punishment is to go and burn all of those copies of PlayStation Interactive Magazine. Sorry, not my rules. Next up, it's Naoki. It looks like he's tuned us into a Sky stream. Hello, DJ Hoffman. Okay, here's our next confessional. It's from Naoki, or Retro Saito in the chat today. He is there. Let's see what he's got to confess.
Now on NRC1, there's some retro crimes afoot.
Tonight on Cave Watch. Painted PlayStations, never-ending scenes. A Power Mac versus Power Tools. And someone is getting time for this.
Oh no. Is Anne Robinson going to appear?
It's 8 p.m. at
No, it wasn't
Gloucester
Anne, it was Nick,
Constabulary,
wasn't it?
and the team are being briefed.
Tonight, we're going to be executing an arrest warrant for Section 64, misuse of retro hardware. Basically, the information is that the dweller, Naoki, has on multiple occasions abused retro hardware.
The suspect is facing 8 hours of Discord jail time. Despite this, later on, he still tries to make a run for it.
Oh no, what happened to him? Anyway, back to me. Oh, we can't have a poll on that. You are forgiven. And you have a free pass for whatever retro crime you want to commit next. Good video. Good video. Leiden23, thank you for following. SJ1420, thank you for subscribing. CP Magnetic Media, One Wheel Skyward, Steve Payne82, and Moby Tricks, thank you all for following. That was brilliant, Naoki. Thank you. I think like at the end of the year we need to have a best of or something, don't we? I should maybe start putting videos aside for that. Okay, the next video is from our man Kosan, who's also put together the quiz we'll be doing. He's got his dog collar on. I think, aren't I supposed to have the dog collar on and you're confessing to me? Here we go.
Confessions. This and nothing more in This Month with Kosan.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
The number you have dialed is complete bot.
I reached out to the hardcore of retro bad boys. So with us we have Neil from RMC.
Oh, hello, Cave Dwellers.
And amazingly, Lord Alan Sugar. But I can call you Al, right?
Absolutely.
Big Al?
No.
And ironically, Chris's confession is part of the reason he can't join us now.
With a lot of admiration for the manner in which the Australian authorities deal with the situation.
I've kept all the footage, by the way. I don't think it would be fair for me to show you it now.
Probably shouldn't dwell on that then. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Okay, so Neil, tell us your retro confession. Sorry, Neil, I think you might be on mute there.
I do apologise. I don't think I've ever done that.
And Al, I think there'd be outrage if I didn't ask you about the joystick port pin out on the +2. What were you thinking?
It was the biggest mistake of my life, and I should have actually not done that.
All that remains is me to thank my special guests.
Not the video I was expecting to make.
It was so exciting for me and the family and for my friend Nick.
Steady on, Al. And thanks to our listeners as well.
And Margaret, my lawyer. It was a great thing. And then
retro.
Oh, that was brilliant. You have to submit a video every month. Fly me back to back, Naoki and that, and also we've got a close up of his backdrop, which is here, because I did notice a few things on here. He's got some nice systems. We got the 1200, the 600, the Sharp X68000, some kind of 486 or Pentium PC on the right hand side there. Not sure what the circuit board is, but if we and we've got a top shelf of Spectrum goodness. But if we zoom in here, hang on, let me make sure I'm zooming the right thing. Enhance. What's this? What's this? That is not a mug from the official RMC Retro.store shop. Honestly, a pirated mug. I don't know if we've got anything else hidden on here. We've got some 68,000 games. Looks legit, does it, Garo? So X68000 games, got some Amiga stuff, Deluxe Paint, Populous 2. We got a sealed MS-DOS 622 upgrade. We've got a book called Japanese for Busy People, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Do you speak Japanese? Oh, look at those discs. We've got a totally legit disc in the disc box. And underneath that, a cover disc, which I used to death, which was Vista on Amiga format. Oh, we got the ZX Spectrum ROM games. Anything else hiding here that we need to be aware of? I think we've got it all. Your Willy. Yes, there's your Willy. What's the board, Ko-Sam? What's the circuit board there? X68K again, is it? Oh, we got an MT32 and an SC55 or an 88. It's like a 55, I think. SC, yeah. Good. Okay, we've got one more video and then we'll go into our quiz. The Rushton says lost loads of time making vistas and fractals. Yeah. Oh, it's a pet board, a Commodore pet board of some kind. Oh, there's a familiar face. I think Steve's been to visit me in the cave. I do remember chatting. Or if it wasn't Steve, it was someone that looked very much like Steve. Let's check out Steve's. Are you in the chat, Steve? Let us know if you are. Let's see what he has to confess.
So it was 1994 and I was blissfully playing on my Mega Drive with Sonic the Hedgehog 3. My mate Owen comes around with his brand new Atari Jaguar and a copy of Cybermorph. Giving it a bit of large with all the 3D graphics and it's better than Star Fox and everything. Anyway, so 1995 rolls around and it's been boxed in his room for a couple of months. So I go around and say, can I borrow it? He says yes, take it home, put it in my TV unit.
It's Steve Payne in the chat. Hello, Steve. So Steve's mate bigging it up. So he's borrowing the Jaguar. I think I know what might be happening next.
She's next to my NES and my Mega Drive.
There's going to be a mixture of power supplies involved here.
Hand down the back, trying to get the power cable for it. Pull the power cable out, put it in, and I hear a big puff of smoke and a bang and can smell burning and everything. So then it turns out that I'd accidentally got the Nintendo NES power adapter. Pulled it out, plugged it in, which kind of runs at 1.3 amps, whereas the Jaguar one is 1.2 amps. So basically I melted his Jaguar. Felt really bad about it, but then, he wasn't playing it, so I boxed it back up, gave it back to him 2 weeks later, claiming, yeah, it's great, much better than Star Fox. I'd never even played it. But yeah, I didn't tell him. I was saving for Mega Drive 2 at the time, so needs must and all that. So, Owen, if you're watching, really sorry.
Where did you learn to fly?
That had to be in there, didn't it? Where did you learn to fry consoles? The poll is up. Do we forgive Steve for destroying his friend? So his friend was kind enough to lend him his new console, which is pretty unusual. It must have been his pride and joy. Lent it to him. Steve's blown it up. And then just gone, lied, said, yeah, I had 2 weeks of great gaming. Oh, it's much better than my Super Nintendo. And the poor guy's got a broken console. The more I think about it, the more I'm feeling sorry for this guy. And if I keep talking like that, we can get that no vote up higher. Steve is a bad, bad man. Vote no, everybody. Yeah, that's it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Oh, what a surprise. 76% say no. And Garo Ninja has decided your fate, Steve. I'm afraid you have to be beheaded. And I know just the Atari man that has the tools to do that. It's Control-Alt-Reese with his chop saw. So once he's finished with the Amiga 600, you'll need to pop your head in that. Suzzled says he sees no remorse. It does help, doesn't it, to be remorseful, but clearly wasn't. Okay, let's get your final confessions. We've got one in the chat from Stina Maru. I blew up my CTM 644 monitor for my CPC 464 by giving it 12 volts in the front through youthful curiosity. then denied knowing anything about it, so my parents threw the whole lot away. Bad man. Because the front was for the system itself to plug into and pass the power through from the monitor. So the monitor's got power going in the back, and then you've shoved more power in the front. Ouch. Kitson says his punishment, Steve's punishment should be to replace all his controllers with Jaguar controllers. Kosam wants to connect a car battery to the Tech Nibbles. We'll go to the voice chat one last time, and we'll see if we've got any confessions in the voice chat. I don't see any new names in there. Hello, the voice chat. Hello, it's an ask. Do you have a confession to make?
Fault, but I'm not sure if it's a sin. So, one Christmas, a while ago, years ago, basically, I went to my uncle's with my sister, and you know, Christmas crackers have those padlocks in them.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
crap little padlocks, metal padlocks, and my sister was like playing around or whatever. It's Christmas Day after all, and I took the keys off her for the padlock and didn't tell her where they were. Now, that year for my birthday, I got my first laptop, which was a used and old at the time, but it was a Dell Latitude XPI. So it was a Pentium machine. And on the back, it had two flaps. And one of them was for like a dock connector.
Oh, no.
And I thought it would be a good idea to hide the keys. And so the keys were hidden. And I thought, yeah, I'll just tuck them under the cover for the dock connector. So I took them under the cover. And I was using the laptop. It was plugged in. I was using it. So I took the keys in the cover. And then all of a sudden there was and the laptop went off.
So you shorted something with the key.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh my God. All because I wanted to hide these keys for this crap padlock from his sister. And so the laptop worked afterwards, but the charging circuitry was completely shot.
Oh no.
And I'd purchased a broken XPI from a car boot or something, and so I had to charge the battery in that. The battery still didn't work.
So you had to, oh no.
So I had to charge the battery in that
in another
and
laptop.
then put it in my actual working laptop.
Well, I think Mr. Fujisawa puts it best in the stream chat. He just says in capital letters, karma. And I think that's right.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Totally. Right. Thank you for your confession. Chat, just say yes or no if you forgive It's an Arse. We've got James has joined us in the chat. James, have you got a confession to make, or are you just lurking?
No, not lurking. I'm just wondering about what my confession would actually be. I'm not sure.
Your confession is that you don't have a confession to make.
It could potentially be that.
Well, let me introduce you, James, because I wasn't expecting you to drop in. So it's nice to see you. Everyone, James is responsible for arranging the event. So it's James who managed to snag Mike Daly and the Oliver twins. And it's James who's responsible for the name Retro Booty. That's his confession. He came up with the name Retro Booty.
I tell you, I've got a confession. I once bought an Atari ST from a car boot sale, convincing a lady that it was worthless. And just saying, I was like, I'll get it. It was awful. I was in my 20s. I had no morals. And like, it was just, it was very naughty. I bought it for a £5, and then I sold it on eBay for 60 quid. That's pretty bad.
So you basically said to her, you were doing her a favor by taking it off her hands.
That's exactly what I said.
And then
she had written on the top of the box. She had the original box of the Atari ST, and she'd written bedroom on the top of it. It was obviously used as like a storage thing or something when they were moving house or something like that. But I went in so hard. It was awful. Yeah, that was bad.
You know these videos you watch on YouTube of scamming call centers that phone people up and the good guys hack them. That's you. That is. You're the scammer.
It was. I'm a born again retro nice person. There you go.
Good. Okay. Chat. I didn't see in chat if It's an Ass was forgiven. I did see quite a few yeses, so I'm just going to go with yes. But James, is James forgiven for scamming a granny out of an Atari? That's the question. What do we think? No. Hoffman says yes. He's all up for scamming grannies.
Yay!
Reese says no. Protect says yes. Dave says no. It's about 50-50. Sozzled says no. Boba says you are the worst and the lowest of the low.
Yep, that's me.
Yazachi says, did the granny a favour for taking an ST?
Yeah, true. That's true. Yep.
There we go. Right. Thank you, James. Has anyone else in the chat? Last chance for confessions in the chat. Anyone else? Naoki has unmuted himself. Have you got something to confess?
I was going to say there was one thing that I didn't record, and it's only because I filmed I say film. I got the whole video done, and then when I was cleaning up the room, I found a fourth sin, as it were.
Okay. Also, hang on. All of those things that you showed us in your Crime Watch video are actually things that you personally have made. Oh my! Right. Hang on. I'm going to put the video. Hang on. This makes it so much worse. Right. Let me bring it up on the screen here. So first of all, we had Pillock put in. I can't remember. Was it a ST you were putting in the bin, Pillock?
Yeah, it was Amiga.
Amiga in the bin. And we had Reese chop saw in an A600. Pillock says it was his 500. Me forgetting to plug things in. Pillock's Scotch egg holder in the top of an Amiga. So just going back to Costado, if you're still watching, here's an idea. Pillock's turned the hole in his Amiga into a Scotch egg holder. You've got more of a square hole. I don't know what you could put in there, but maybe toast rack.
Mars bar.
And then we're going to come on to, so these are things that you've actually made. So first up, a very glossy black place. I can see what you were trying to do there. It's probably all right under the right light.
It actually looks really good in person. The only thing that I'm annoyed about was the fact that all the silkscreen logos for the buttons on the PlayStation obviously have been covered over.
Painted over, yeah. Okay. This is an abomination. I can't even say the word. I'm that angry. It's a Nintendo Entertainment System, which you haven't... Go on.
Sorry, I can defend myself on this occasion.
Okay, but are you defending the NES or the baby blue Amiga behind it?
Oh, the blue Amiga. That was sent to me. I can't remember who sent it to me.
Who did that? Yes.
But I'm grateful for whoever did send it to me. I'm surprised no one's noticed the Rollout Reese badge on.
Is it a whole Amiga or just half of one?
No, it's a whole Amiga.
It's a whole one?
Actually, to be fair, it's only half painted blue. But that's not my crime. I didn't do that.
Okay, tell us about the NES.
So the NES, I feel like I can get forgiveness for, because what you don't see, because this is back when I was doing the body shop, maybe about 2016, I had that on the floor. I was messing around with it, and my friend at the time came into the room, and he played, I think it was bass guitar or something, and he came in, he jumped in, and did something, and then all I saw was the strap ping off on the end, and the neck of the guitar went straight down right onto the case and put a massive crack and hole in it. There's a big, I don't know, about it's like 5-6 centimeter triangular wedge cut out of it.
And is that the same lid that had the hole in it? So have you patched up that lid? Right. So you've done some body filler work on it, yeah?
Yeah, I did some body filler work. I attempted to do a sort of PlayStation 4 half glossy, half satin look. And the reason I haven't done the front flap, other than the fact that, again, of this silk screening, is quite literally because I'm lazy.
Okay, well, that's honest. So we've got sort of half chips, half rice Nintendo Entertainment System. Is it ever going to get touched again, or is that it now? Job done.
To be honest with you, I've got the fonts, I think, for making the silk screen. So I might finish it, but I need to re-gloss the other side, because those little specks that you see on the top, or you could have seen, they were I put some anti-slip matting on there, and apparently it decided to react with the.
Okay. Tell us about the Sega Mega Drive clock, and this better be good.
I don't think we have time for that one, do we?
Coming in with the dad jokes when you're supposed to be looking for forgiveness. Come on.
So this one kind of hurts me a little bit as well, because
we're all hurting.
Yes, but originally it was. So that is the Mega Drive that I was given probably for Christmas to around about the turn of the millennium, something like that. As me and my sister were kids. And again, I think it was about 2009 or something, or maybe 2010. I was doing something to it, and I managed to short out some of the CPU pins. And I don't know whether I killed the CPU. I don't know if I could kill the RAM. Long story short, it never worked again, and it just stuck. Like I was stuck like that for ages. And then around about 2016 again, this was before the NES. I decided to turn it into a clock because I thought, well, if it can't ever work again, I can at least make it look nice and put it on the wall.
You had other options, like putting it in the bin, but you decided to make it into a clock. Is that a battery backed up clock?
It's actually a radio clock, so it automatically updates the time. So, in fact, I was going to do one.
Don't start trying to sell it to me. Actually, let me tell you about the features.
You might like this though. At one point, so if you take off the side cover where the Mega CD would attach, you could put into the 2 AA's that it requires. So trying to be a bit creative with it. And the controller ports at one point, so I actually made it a bit more functional. So it would work as an alarm clock that would actually play Mega Drive music. You could use the
Reese says it's like watching QVC. Okay, there's one good question. This is your last question that was in the chat. What's the clock speed?
Thank
you, Russ, for that one. I couldn't claim it as my own. Thank you, Naoki. I think that was the last of the mods. Was there another one? Yeah, that was it. That was it. And then quite rightly, the police got involved. Thank you very much. Last call. Any more confessions in the voice chat? Pillock's unmuted. I think Mark's unmuted. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Mark.
Hi, everybody. So I don't have it's not much to do with hardware, so I don't know if this qualifies. But in 1996, I remember, so I was 16, there was a bug in Windows 95 that became popular. It was called WinNuke. And you could send a packet to any IP address, and it would blue screen of death their Windows 95 PC.
And how did that, was that just through the service, the messaging service that was on by default in Windows, or how did it send that message?
I'm not quite sure, except through the chat apps you could
because
easily
you used to be able to net send stuff, couldn't you?
Yeah, it was very easy to get people's IP addresses back then.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you do with this power?
So I had a good time calling friends and asking them if they could help me email a document. And when they turn on their PCs, I'd grab the IP address, and then their PCs would start repeatedly crashing. So at which point they'd ask me for help because I was the IT expert in our group. And then I had a good time convincing them that certain actions would cause their PCs to become unstable. Even one person, I'd reboot it every time. I convinced him to rotate his PC out of the sunlight so that the sunlight wouldn't hit the case, because that would make it unstable.
And then you'd stop it from crashing.
Yes. So I had a good time when I was a teenager, and I did confess to them eventually that I was responsible for that. But yeah, that's my confession for today.
Listen up, kids. If you want a career in IT, this is how you do it. Find a way to make everyone's computers crash. Get them to come to you for help, and then stop them crashing, and you're an expert. That's all it takes. Mark is living proof. Do we forgive Mark? Let us know in the chat.
I hope they can forgive me. My friends did eventually.
Itanar says, you are forgiven. He's fessed up. Richard says, you are forgiven. Byron says, forgiven. Yeah, everyone is forgiving you. And I think everyone is loving hearing you, Mark, hearing your voice, because you're an admin on the RMC chat server, always there helping us. But I don't think you've been heard before in the wild, so that is a mark in the wild. You are forgiven, definitely forgiven. Right, it's quiz time. 10 questions, just a short quiz. It's time for catchphrase. Say what you see. The quiz will be using, let's stop that. The quiz will be using something called QuizKit, which is an add-on for Twitch. It works on most devices. If for some reason it doesn't work, I'm sorry. I can't really offer technical support to help you. Hopefully it will work for you. Usually better on desktops and laptops and things. Agent Orangina, grab a beer. Okay, everyone. Yeah. Have 2 minutes to go and grab a beer. Let's have a quick beer break while I set this up. Get your drinks, everyone, and we'll go off. We'll have our quick quiz. Don't worry if you're just coming back with your beer. Just the intro.
It's a second floppy. Zip drive. Four megs of RAM.
Okay. That's question number 1. So now I can start the quiz. Yeah, please don't answer in the chat. So say what you see. BSOD, BOSD, BDOS, BODS. Click on the answer. I'll play it again while you're clicking. You've got to get that one. There we go. Waiting for the last people to answer. You get sort of 30 seconds, I think it is, per question. Show us your quizzle stick. The answer was BSOD 69. Got it right. One of you got it wrong. I dare say on purpose. Here comes question number 2. And the person at the top is contestant 27. I don't know who that is. So you've got to give the system permission to see what your name is. But put your hand up if you're contestant 27. Gamma Dev, it's an ass. Top 3. Question 2. And that is legit catchphrase music. Are things in the way? Can you see? Do I need to move it? I can move it. Is that better up there? If I do that, is that better? Okay, I'll play it again while the question's up. Okay, 7 seconds left. Is it a Capri Sun, a 60 V8000, a Power PC, or a PC Engine? Waiting for the last of you to answer. Yazachi, it's a fine balance because sometimes there's a bit of lag and people don't get the question at the right time, so you've got to give people a bit of time. So the answer was PC Engine. 70 of you got this. You're nailing it. 4 of you went for PowerPC. One of them was White Dragon Dev. He has confessed in the chat. He says, "Oh, I'm a dumbass." Chrissy Baps was the quickest. Gamma Dev's in the lead. Control Alt Reese is second. Here's the next one. I will play it again. Don't worry about the scores being in the way if they are. It's a good guess, but it's not right. That's supposed to be me. It's totally me, is it? Say what you see. Chicken Run, Commodore Pets, Sid Vicious, Como Dog. These are fantastic. Yes, Kosam has done an amazing job doing this. Oh, stop. Yeah, nearly went into the next one there. Oh, the Walker, that would have been a good answer. It's close, but it's not right. How do you change? I can't tell. Can someone tell Ty542 how to change your name from contestant to display name? The answer, of course, was Commodore Pet, but 4 of you went for Como Dog. 4 of you went for Chicken Run. Chicken Lips. Did you get it? Okay. This is really coming down to speed, isn't it? The speed of your answer. Twisted Barracuda was the fastest. I'm not reading that. Who's gone for that name? Come on. Fess up. Tempest 3000, Jake Warrell Dozer. Control Alt Reese in 11th. Chrissy Baps in 12th. Pillock in 18th. But where's Mrs. Pillock? Nowhere to be seen. Dave, Velociraptor, 55. 38th. Okay, Pillock's keeping tabs. Here's the next one. Hello. Yes, Pillock, it is the legit catchphrase music. Here he comes again. What do you reckon? Those are his feet. Apparently, Kosam assures me that those are his feet. Neil is either longer or shorter than expected. No comment. My learned friend is being told off by Nightbot for spamming. Okay, the answer was Pinball Dreams. Oh, 3 of you went for Pinball Fantasies. None of you went for Tilted Lover. Catherine hosted 11 minutes ago. Thank you. Sorry, I missed that. Thank you very much. If you're here, tell us about your stream, Catherine. Said Tiny Cats. Thank you for following. And Puma Pants. Good name. Check the scores. We're halfway through the quiz. Chrissy Baps was quickest. The name that cannot be said is in first still, but closely followed by Tempest 3000. Chrissy Baps moving up to 7th. Here's the next one. See what you see. Get that up again. Is it Sweet Ride, Ride the Dip, Candy Cab, or Crazy Taxi? Kestrine says, we were just watching some Deep Space Nine. Classic. Well, I hope you're all having fun doing that. Dave says, Neil is the Commander Cisco of Retro. Am I really? Fibble-san, Kosan 2 in the chat did these animations, and yes, he is a genius. And if we talk nicely to him, he might do more in future. So the answer to this was, that split you. 33 of you went for Crazy Taxi, but only 30 went for Candy Cab, as in the arcade cabinet. It's a candy cab. That's changed everything. Tempest 3000 is at the top. El Tecnico is second. Taffy Magic, third. Video Costado. Oh, where's Reese gone? Slipped down to 13th. Mrs. Pillock in 12th. Pillock, eat your words. Where are you? 33rd with Mrs. Pillock in 12th. It's all going off in the Pillock household. Okay, here's the next one. And remember, say what you see. He's waving. You've all got this one, surely. Say what you see. Memory paging, MIDI typewriter, Mavis Beacon teaches typing, or R-type. Fibble Sound MIDI typewriter is Atari ST. If that's what you want your answer to be. It is all about reaction times, isn't it? Are we getting hyped? The answer was, of course, R-Type. One of you went for memory paging, 4 for MIDI typewriter, Mavis Beacon 2, R-Type 70. Pajako thinks people on mobiles get better scores. What do you think? They're just quicker at tapping the screen? Right, It's an Ass was the quickest there. Tempest holds the top spot. Mrs. Pillock moves up to 11th. Yeah, no mouse movements. You might be right. I told you it would start off as a bit of fun, but now you're talking about who's quickest, whether it's phone users or desktop users. Question 7. Here's the question. Say what you see. M people, M buffalo, M Bunsen, or M bison. Waiting for your answers to come in. We've got 2 more questions. God, I do miss our quizzes. They were fun. 62 of you, M Bison. 10 of you went for M Buffalo. And 2 of you went for M People. It was Heather, wasn't it? Heather Small. Heather Small or Heather Smalls? It was the singer on M People. Moving on up. Extra points to Pillock for that one. Small. Thank you, my learned friend. Like your score. Oh, it's all between Taffy and Costado now in the top 2. Oh, Fibble sounds close. Pajako pulls sort of an outside chance there. Hang on a minute. 6th place. Kosam, who wrote the quiz. Right. So he's going to claim victory, is he? Okay, here's the next question. We got 2 left. Here's the question. Is this Hot Backups Video Roaster Betamax Video Toaster? Hoffman, don't answer in the chat, please. You got to use the quiz kit that pops up on the screen. You're a bad man. Oh, hang on. We've gone on to the next question. Sorry. Hoffman closes the window. Turn around, Hoffman, and just face the wall. Okay. Oh, I think Reese says he was diddled out of an answer. Video toaster. I'm guessing some of you accidentally clicked trying to be as quick as possible on video roaster. That was evil. How are we doing? Taffy Magic holds the top spot. Castado's moved down. Or was he there? I can't remember. Flibble-san, Pajako. Kosam has disappeared. Pillock's at 16th. Oh no, where's Mrs. Pillock? Mrs. Pillock, where have you gone? 37th, what's happened? Yeah. Okay, question 9. Here I come. No. Say what you see. Crash TV, Smash TV, Plasma Leak, Better Call CRT Rob. Some of you having trouble with that. Or you might have clicked the wrong one. Broken floor. Time's up. A lot of you going, no. Neil's bad day, yeah. Got my little red pinny on. Oh, yes, a lot of you have probably thought Crash Magazine or something. I don't know. You just automatically clicked on Crash. But it was the arcade game Smash TV. And 2 of you wanted Rob over to fix it. Castado takes the top spot. And he's been tickled by Pajako 6502. Dave's up in 4th. Hardly Worgan is 3rd. Tim Berry, contestant 56, Mr. Fujisawa, Control Reese, Amazing Rakurai UK, and Amazing Pillock, and Chrissy Baps. 1 question left. And this last question contains all of the admin team. See if you can spot who's who. Is it a LAN party? Is it a flan party? Is it a Lotus Flan or is it a Flan Enterprise? If you didn't watch the video, that might be a tricky one for you. Yeah, this will sort the cave dwellers from the official cave dwellers. Of course, it's obvious if you made the quiz go, Sam. Oh, Kitson's sitting it out, so try not to lose points. The answer was Flan Party. It was a joke that I made in the Elan Enterprise video about flan parties because it said flan on the board. So that really has mixed it up. Let's see the final results. Who has won the quiz? Actually, before we do that, so from left to right on the screen there, you've got Pillock with his Scotch egg and his Amiga t-shirt. You've got who's the? Is that Mark? That's Mark, isn't it? No, Mark's the pilot. Who's the Kung Fu man? Hang on. Chrissy. It's Chrissy in his Street Fighter 2. That's right. Chrissy in his Street Fighter 2. Me with my pinny. Mark the pilot. We've got Asnivor in his Spectrum and his headphones. And of course, Dave, Scottish Dave with his kilt. And if you look closely on his sporran, it's an Atari sporran. And we are all having a lovely flan party. But Pillock, being Pillock, has brought his own Scotch egg along. Can't take him anywhere. No, we shouldn't look too closely, should we? It's sporran. So let's see who won the quiz. How has that happened? It's an arse has come from nowhere into first place. 228,315 points. I have a feeling those that were near the top perhaps chose not to click because they wanted to not get it wrong and lose points. So they haven't actually answered. And then from nowhere, It's an Ass has got the answer or taken a gamble and taken the top spot. Oh, you answered every question, Tempest. One wrong. Pillock came second in the household. Tempest second. Castado third. Paul Pajako 65 age fourth. Libelsan 84 fifth. Harley Morgan 6th. Dave Velociraptor 7th. Kosam, null and void. You wrote the quiz. Get out. But thank you so much. You've done a great job on that. Taffy Magic, contestant 56. You know who you are. Mrs. Pillock in 11th. Hang on. Where's Pillock? Pillock in 19th. Mrs. Pillock wins in the Pillock household. Tim Berry, Chrissy Baps, Mr. Fujisawa, Controller Reese, C64 Woody, Dave Corbett, the Mumbo King, Amazing Pillock. And I can't read that name, so we'll stop there. I think there's a little bit at the end of this video. Let's just see it out. We'll close QuizKit now. How does this... Oh, hello, it's gone off the screen. There we go. Boomer streaming, look out. Here we go. Oh. He's waving. Thank you, Sam, again for that. And yes, it's an arse. Very well said.
Dear Simon, Neil, my confession is a simple one. You see, as a kid that was slightly different, I didn't fit in. And therefore, with my Amstrad Music Tower system sitting next to my Amstrad CPC 464, I slipped a blank cassette into the recording deck and my latest game acquisition into the playback deck, and I hit record. To my surprise, it worked, and I had a duplicate but with the logo without issue. With this discovery in my mind, the next day I mentioned it to a friend or two. Before long, I was getting requests from others in the CPC community. And dare I say that I became tolerated, if not quite accepted. To skip forward a few years, and armed with an action replay and a couple of drives, I found my popularity blossomed. So for these sins, I plead forgiveness. I throw myself at your mercy. I was but a youngster, and I knew not what I stole from the hard-working developers, but I believed drove flash cars, thinking my actions would be but a drop in the ocean. Forever repentant, Rich.
That was the bong of Xcopy, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, and there it is on the screen. Richard. Obviously forgiven. People say, oh, you're at 76%. I mean, I have to confess, I did exactly the same when my dad came home with his new stack system, which wasn't a stack system because it was all actually just one big plastic mold to look like a stack system. It had tape to tape, and I did copy my Amstrad games in the same way. We all did it, says not Matt Matthew. Yeah. There we go. He's got his Amstrad, he's got his monster joystick, he's got more floppy disk drives and Gotex than anyone should ever need. He's got his tape measure, his calendar, Scottish Dave on the wall. He's got his mug. I think that's a good video to end the show on. And you have been forgiven by the largest margin of the whole show. 87%. Nothing to worry about, Rich. You can go into your new job on Monday with a clear conscience. So we'll end the stream as we always do with a raid. Let's see if we can find someone retro-ish that we might like to raid. Who's streaming? Nikki and Bunty, what are they streaming? N64 games? Oh, the British IBM. Right. The British IBM. Does anyone want some music? So, Aid is just doing an acoustic set in his house. If you want a bit of... Should we go and surprise him? Because he's got 10 people watching and it will just make his night. So let's go, and I've got to type raid the British IBM. Okay, I'm really looking forward to seeing his reaction. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Head over to Discord if you want to join us. I don't need to tell you all the links. You know who I am, and I know who you are, and it's great to hang out with you. Thank you, everyone. And we will now go and raid.